Hi everyone, I'm Monique with Open Gate Quilts, and today I'm going to show you your subscription box for December. And I'm super excited. We got some really cute things to show you. So just as always, you're going to get the box, and when you open it, you can open it up. It's like a little Christmas present. And inside, the first thing you'll see is a list and a description of all the things that are in the box. What's nice about this is if you are wondering if you throw the packaging away or you're not sure what it is, it tells you what you're getting in the whole box. So that's always fun to see. And then the first project, which is, just going to put this aside, is this one here. This is either a table topper or a tree skirt. You can do either one. If you decide to do a tree skirt, what you can do is just cut a hole in it and then bind the hole. And if you want, it's up to you, you can put your, cut your line here so that you can slip it under a tree. But if you have a smaller tree and you have a stand, you might be able to just slip it in there. So with this, you're going to get a label telling you what it is, a picture, all the fabric that you need for the top, center, all the black includes the binding, and then your stripe. So you get the whole thing, and you also, of course, get instructions. Couple of things of note when you're doing this is that when you're cutting, these are already pre-cut for you. I already did those, so you don't have to worry about this. The width of this is pre-cut, but you do need to cut your stripes. And I do explain this on there. But one thing that you want to make sure that you use is you use your best press that you got last month. If you're new and this is your first month, I do have some of these left, so let me know and we'll get you set up. And this is great because the best press will keep it from waving, because we're going to be cutting this on the diagonal at a 45-degree angle, and before you even cut, you want to douse this pretty good with your best press. It'll keep it nice and straight and your angles won't wave. So another thing that you want to do is when you're doing this, you want to make sure you use your best press. And I also bias bound this. So you have plenty of this black fabric to do these parts here as well as the binding. With the binding, what I did was I made sure that you did bias because of these funky angles. It's hard to get in there if you use the straight grain fabric. Another way I had you cut is I made you cut the length of grain for these pieces. And the reason that I had you do that is that this is the length of grain and this is the length of grain. And let me do a quick refresh on what a length of grain is. When you have your fabrics, your width of grain goes from here, from selvage to selvage, so it's across. The length is this way. The reason you want the length is because of these cute little prints here. If you cut it this way, they're going to be all chopped up, but as you see, I cut them so that it comes in a really cool little table topper here. So that's why we cut it that way. So these are all cut that way, so I wanted you to cut this that way as well, so that when you put it together you won't get a lot of waving. And again, the best press is going to help you with that a lot too. So those are the tips for this. If you have any questions or as you're working along, let me know and I can help you with that. All right, back to our box. All right, the next thing that I'm going to, let's go over these little things and then I'll go over the last project. This is the notion of the month, and the notion of the month is tweezers. And you're thinking, I don't need any tweezers for my eyebrows. These are actually for if you rip a seam, which, you know, oftentimes we do, these will pull out all the little threads. I have several of these all over my sewing studio and use it all the time because it's just so easy to pick out all the threads. So that's the notion of the month. You also get thread, and remember when I give you the thread, I make it so that it is coordinating with your project. And with this project, this worked perfectly. I actually quilted with this color thread on this as well. So this works perfect. You're going to get a pattern, and this is one of my newest patterns. It's called Ombre Effect, and it's using an ombre fabric, and you can use any color, and then a white for a background. The cool thing is, with an ombre, you're going to get a lot of variation with it, and it's only a 2 fabric quilt. So you need 3 1/4 yards of 2 different fabrics, and you can whip this up really quick. So it's all half square triangles, very easy. So those are what else is in it. And then the last little thing, I'm going to move this aside here, and I'm going to show you our last 2 things that we have in here. All right, we are going to make some pot holders. So the pot holders are also included. With this, you have enough to make 2 pot holders, which is great if you need a gift for somebody or if you want for yourself. You might get either a pot holder that has a little panel in it, or you might have one that has some little sayings, or you might have one that has some of the different fabrics. It just depends on which one you get. So they're all super cute, super easy to make, and with this, of course, you always get your instructions, but I also included the Insulbright. It is the stuff that reflects the heat. So when you're doing this, you're going to make sure the Insulbright is reflected up, so it's on the top, and you also are getting some Warm and Natural, which would be between. So let me show you how this works. What you're going to do is you're going to take your backing. You have an 8 1/2 inch square. You're going to cut 3/4 on the outside of this, and you want to have the right side down. Then you're going to have your piece of Warm and Natural batting. Then you will have your Insulbright, and then you have your little top here. What you'll do is you're going to cut your 3/4 out. You're going to press this, and let me grab my iron here quick so I can show you this. You're going to press this angle in so it just meets. And what you want to do too is you want to quilt this before you get going, but I did not do that yet, but I did on my sample. So you're just going to press it right there on your corner. I'm going to do the same thing on all 4 corners, but right now I'm just doing these 2 so I can show you. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to press this in at 3/8 of an inch. Press it in. And then you're going to take your Clover fusible web tape, and this is what you're going to use to hold it in place while you are putting it together. So I'm just going to take my tape. I'm doing this backwards, so I'm going to flip it over. And you're going to fuse it down. Okay, and I'm also going to cut that off. So once you fuse it, you're going to let it sit for a bit so it cools off. Make sure it's down. So you press it, and then you're going to take your paper off. You're going to do this for all 4 sides, and then once you have the 4 sides done, you're going to take and you're going to press this down using your iron. So it's going to hold that in place. You're going to have this side coming here where you have those nice, where they meet. Then you're going to take your Wonder Clips from last time, and you're going to put those in the corner to help it. So you kind of have a nice little miter coming in the corner. And then you stitch around it. Super easy. So that's how we do our projects. If you have any questions, or if if you need anything, let me know. We are working on January's box, and we should have that done, well, obviously for January, but my mind is going. We got lots of ideas, and hope you enjoy this, and hope you have happy holidays. Quilt, bind, and enjoy. Bye.